toes are all pointing in the direction that you are going. Let's pretend you're coming this way. Okay? Okay. What you're going to do is hold this in place, and you're going to lift up on the front. Just keep trying it with the muscle, with that muscle. Lift up with that muscle and hold it. Once you lift up, hold it. Now, I just want you to walk around holding that. Get used to the feeling and just hold it. You look like zombies. No, that's okay. You're not used to it. You're not used to it. Okay, this is the way your posture should always be. Hold it, don't let it go yet. You could do it walking, and you could do it sitting, and you could do it driving, and you can do it just plain standing, and the posture will always be. Okay, you come with me. Uh-oh. Let it go. Shake it up. Let it go. Okay. Just let it go. I'm not going to hurt you. I promise. Okay. That's easy. Okay. I'm going to bevel my pelvis. It's not, you don't have to level it too much, but it's level. Now, put your hands on my shoulder. Now you can't grab me like that, but what I want you to do is push in. Push in. Because your posture is like pushing down on an iron kind of, well, this chair. It's not going anywhere. Your posture, your body is as strong as it can be when your pelvis is level. That means your spine, the bones are stacked. Respecting the curve, the bones are stacked one on top of another. But if you're like this, you do that. I want to just go ahead and fall down because my bones are not stacked one on top of the other. Okay? When your pelvis is level, you can take one part of your body and move another part. Okay? Level your, no, you're not okay. Level your pelvis. I'm going to move over here. Level your pelvis. And I want you to relax your arms. Relax your arms. Give it to me. I'm going to grab it. No, look at that muscle. No muscle. You don't have any muscles in that arm. There you go. Nice and easy. Okay? Now level your pelvis. So you're going to take your hips and move your arms. Your hips are going to move your arms. But your arms are like a leaf. It has no power at all. And your hips are going to move your arms. You see this? Look at these arms. They're just at the mercy. They're at the mercy of the hips. Okay. Now I want you to spread out your feet so that you can kind of, you figure out where you need to balance yourself and push that chair all the way out of your way. Push it in. Because you're going to running, you use your arms to balance yourself. Okay, good. This is the most relaxed that your hands can be. The most relaxed. You have a butterfly in there, and you're not going to kill it. And you're not going to let it fire away. So you're just going to hold it nicely and easily. And with she running, you level your pelvis, and your arm is nice, not like that. Your shoulders are down, and nice and rounded. Okay, and your pelvis is level. And you will lean from your ankles. Put your hands up. Back. We're just going to do this straight. I want you to lean from your ankles. Okay, that's how you start off with she running. This is the beginning of one stride. And what's going to happen, if I remove myself, and you're out there outside, what you're going to do is your knee will come down under you. If she running, your knee will come down under you, and the heel will come up behind you. And that's the beginning of your one stride. It's, again, you're leaning. And then the next stride will be the same. So what I did for the 6 days was I fell all the way down for the whole 6 days. I never fell on my face because nature will not let me do that. And what would happen is watch this knee. What happens to this knee as I'm leaning with my pelvis level and everything is relaxed, and also relaxed is from the pivot point, the glutes, all the way down to my toes. The only thing that's not relaxed would be the core. So you're running from your core. That's the only thing that's not relaxed. So I'm going to just stay here and lean. My knee went under my body mass. The knee went under my body mass, and my heel came up behind me. So everything from the pivot point in your spine, the pivot point is where you can do this. You have one in your neck, but you have a pronounced one in your neck. But from the pivot point in your spine, all the way down to your feet, your toes, that goes to the back. Everything else goes to the front. So, in other words, you do not do this. Lift up. You see some people running, whenever you see that, they're overstriding. Wasting energy, using too much energy. It takes a lot of energy to lift up this big muscles, a lot of energy. And then when you land, where are you going to land? You're going to put out that foot, and you're going to put on brakes. And you're going to land on your heel. The pressure goes 2.5 times your body weight, straight up the back, to hurt you over time. Putting on brakes every stride. Putting on brakes every stride. I used to run like this. I can no longer run like this. And then when I run like this, and I land on my heel, I'm going to push off on my toes. And guess what tiny, teeny, tiny little, weeny little muscle has to be at play when you push off on your toes? That poor little calf muscle, the smallest muscle in your leg, for that split second will hold your whole body up. Entire body up. So if you weigh 200 pounds, that poor little calf muscle is holding up 200 pounds. How many times when they do that if you're running 10 miles. Every stride, it does it. Every stride, it does it. Because the definition of running, you have to have one foot off the ground at some point during your stride. And that calf muscle is holding it. For chi running, you level your pelvis, you lean from your ankles, you relax all of this and all of this. That goes to the back, this goes to the front, and you just go to the front. You just fall forward all the way, whatever race you're doing, you just fall forward. Too bad I don't have any space, but I could run around with the thing, but you just fall forward. Nature knows that you cannot hurt a relaxed muscle. You can't. Your muscles relax, you can't hurt them. You know? So that's why I didn't have any sore muscles. The only thing I felt, the only muscle I felt working hard was this muscle. Because this muscle has to hold the lean, and it has to help to hold the pelvis level. That's what I felt. I didn't feel anything in my shoulders, my lower back, my calf muscle, my quads, any of them, the glutes, nothing. And that's why I was able to run 6 days and 6 nights with no issues, no blisters. I landed on my midfoot. Every stride was on my midfoot, under my body mass. So this core could take that abuse, because that's what it ends up to be. This core could take the abuse because of all the work that I've done at home in the morning, not around running, but every morning for 2 hours to have a core strong enough to take that abuse for 6 days and 6 nights. And that's the way how about that? Questions?
How do you use that when you go up hills?
Say again?
How do you use that technique when you go up hills?
Oh, that's a good one, because the technique is a little different when you go up hills, and it's very different when you come down a hill. You have to be careful when you're running down a hill. I'll talk about that first. You have to be careful that you don't take flight. Fly away. I'm serious. The steeper the hill, the more control you have to have. When you run down a hill with chi running, what you're going to do is your core is there, you level your pelvis, and you just lean from your ankles. And there is a spot where you have to balance. You lean with your foot turned over. You don't want to lean so much that your feet can't keep up. Okay? The lean in chi running is your gas pedal. If you want to go faster, you lean more. And if you lean in more, that means that you're engaging gravity faster. If I'm leaning this much, then I'm walking up, and I'm hardly leaning, okay? And you can see my feet are hardly off the ground. I'll get you the answer. My feet are hardly off the ground because I'm hardly leaning. And if I want to go faster, I can lean a little bit more, and my feet are now further off the ground. Okay, if I want to lean a little bit more, I can almost go as fast to have this almost kick butt, go that fast. I'm not going to do that in this one. Okay, so in order to balance yourself, if you lean more this way, remember the upper body goes this way, I need to balance. I need to balance, and you do it automatically. Mother Nature does that for you. If you're leaning more, your stride is going to open up automatically because of the balance. Like a seesaw. You know, it goes up and down. If this one's way down, that one's way up. Okay? So you have to be careful running downhill to make sure that the lean or the foot turnover keeps up with the lean. Then you won't fall or take flight. So if you can manage, you can go down. Always pass everybody going downhill with no extra energy. See, that's another thing, no extra energy. Uphill. Very different for uphill. Level your pelvis, lean into the hill. And then, rather than using your arms for balance like you did on the flat or on the downhill, you pump. You pump your arms based on the pitch of the hill. Okay, so it's very steep, and it can be so steep that you go into another thing rather than pumping your arms to go. There's another way to go up a very, very steep hill. I'll show you that in a minute. But here's what you do. Level your pelvis, lean into the hill, because you still want to lean into the hill, because you're falling forward into the hill. And you slow your pace. Your pace will automatically slow as you're going up this hill, but you're pumping based on the pitch of the hill. So if the hill is very, very steep, you're going to almost be pumping like this to get up that hill. And if it's not as steep, you'll be pumping like this to get up that hill. And if it's too steep a hill to go up, there's another way to do it. And you use this arm to get up that hill. So you're crossing over, but you're still close to the ground. You're crossing over. I have trouble. You can do it on both sides. I have trouble doing it on the other side. But you cross over. And you just work your way up the hill. And if it's too steep coming down, you level your pelvis again. And always, the knees are always soft. Everything I've talked about, you have soft knees. You don't hurt your knees when they're soft and relaxed. So coming down a hill, you level your pelvis, and your tailbone is close to the hill, if you can imagine. And then you come down the hill sort of like this. You're still pumping yourself down the hill sort of with the tailbone down. And you don't lose your balance. But I could show you outside much better than in here. But that was a good question. Any other questions? Yes?
Did you always just need 4 hours of sleep?
I'm sorry?
Oh, did you always only need 4 hours of sleep?
No.
Your whole life? It's just
No,
that-
not always, no. No, once I got into a certain level of fitness, then I needed less sleep. I was in a research study at the University of Maryland a few years ago. Part of it was a sleep study. And they found out that I don't need the proper amount of sleep, like 8 hours or 12 hours or whatever. But I do get high quality sleep for the 4 hours, and my body is rejuvenated the way sleep is supposed to do that.
Because of your fitness level.
Because of the fitness level.
Otherwise,
Only because of the
you
fitness
go,
level.
are you on a schedule, like you go to bed and then you
I go to bed, this is interesting, I go to bed at the time when I know I need to get up. But I'm only going to sleep 4 hours. And even after only sleeping less than an hour for this 6-day race, you would think that I was no. I came home, I did everything that I'm supposed to do, unpacking the suitcase, all that crazy stuff. And I went to sleep my same time and woke up my same time. You can't make up sleep anyway. You cannot make it up. So the research says. But no, I just sleep for 4 hours and that's just it. It's the level of fitness that I have.
Can you tell us a little more about how you developed your eating plan, how that evolved over time?
How did it? Here's what I did. I did some thinking about. I was trying to write this down to say, well, how did you do this? What you've been able to do. My resting heart rate, for example, is 28 beats a minute when I'm at the height of fitness. 28 beats a minute. My walking around is 40. The doctor, my EKG looks like it's EKG for a 70-year-old, not knowing my background, is a very, very diseased looking EKG. But for a 25-year-old fit person, it's perfect. So the doctor, the cardiologist, and I have a cardiologist that helped me with all of this, they wrote a note on it to say this is not
Your average
left ventricular
72-year-old.
hypertrophy, which is the heart is, what do you call it? Yeah, it's my heart rate is very, very slow, obviously very slow, but enlarged. Left ventricular hypertrophy is when the left side of the heart is enlarged to a degree that it is diseased. And that shows on my EKG. But my left side of the heart is so strong that it doesn't need to pump as much blood, so it doesn't pump as fast for me. Okay, so the doctor, he put the notes on there. Here's what I did. Here's what I found out. I found out, looking back now, all these years, that there are two things. In order to make a change in your lifestyle, to help you to live the rest of your life agelessly, two things. One thing, you have to have passion. If you don't have passion, what I call passionate grit. If you don't have passionate grit, it's going to be temporary. Okay? And as far as I'm concerned, the programs that are out there, not all of them, but the ones I've looked at, do not require you to have passionate grit. Here's what passionate grit is. The next time you are, well, not now because it's so cold. Next time you're out walking down the sidewalk in the springtime, take a look down. And you will see at some point dandelions growing out of the sidewalk. Little dandelions. Have you ever taken a dandelion when it's gone to seed and you blow it? The seeds go all over the place. You know what I'm talking about. Little kids love to do it. Big kids love to do it too. That little seed finds itself in that crack in the sidewalk. Okay, not much dirt there, not much water there, and traffic there, foot traffic there. And the next thing you know, there is this beautiful yellow flower. Okay? Somehow, that little dandelion seed was able to live in those conditions and blossom to make additional little dandelion seeds, hundreds of them. I call that passion and grit, because nothing stopped that little dandelion seed under those conditions to become a healthy dandelion plant, flower. I call it passion and grit. That's the kind of grit and the kind of passion you have to have if you're going to make a real change in your life. If you don't have that kind of passion and grit, you will not make a real change. You'll do a good job at trying, but it just will not happen because there's so many forces against you. Just living in this society where they spend billions and billions and billions of dollars to get you to eat the double cheeseburger with the burger sauce and, you know, all of that, you know, it's out there. And then there's mother. And then there's your wife, who I worked really hard, and you mean to tell me you're not going to eat blah, blah, blah. And then there's the people at the races. Betty, can I fix you something? How about all of this? Come on, you have to eat. No, thank you. You have to have passion and grit. You have to get on top of this. You have to get away from that kind of lifestyle. You're over here. You have to move yourself to over here. Okay, that's one thing. Let's say you have the passion. There's another thing. You have to have, and you have to know that you have, the internal fortitude to reject society, in a sense. You have to have the strength inside. You can't go outside. You have to get it from inside of yourself. You cannot rely on, and I'm not knocking Weight Watchers. That's not inside of yourself. And you see Oprah Winfrey, she has all the money in the world. She can buy this trainer, she can buy that dietitian, she can buy that Dr. Oz, she can buy that, whatever she needs. I mean, really, whatever she needs. Now, over here, in her professional life, with what she's been able to do from where she came from in this country, to end up as one of the richest women, most successful, you know, with what she does, she's got it inside. But she doesn't know it because when she comes over here, she's getting fatter and fatter. She doesn't know she has it. I found out that I had it by accident. And that's what I relied on when my little daughter tagged me those many years ago and said, "You can't catch me." I didn't know all of this, but I had it because I was one of two little black girls to integrate with Bethesda Chevy Chase Senior High School 10th grade back in 1956. No one was ready for that. We weren't ready, our parents weren't ready, the school system, the teachers. We were just taken from our little black school and put in this 3,500 student school. And we had to go for it. At least I had to go for it for myself. I would cry every day to go back to the black school. My parents said, "No, BCC is a wonderful school and you're going to go there." So I'm crying every day. They didn't help me because that's what I wanted to go back. The principal, he was really nice. He didn't know what to do. Whenever you feel like you can't take it, you come to the office and I'll give you a pass to go to the library. That wasn't helpful because I was missing too much time from from class, because I used it. Every day, there I was, knocking on his door. You know, so that wasn't helpful. No one was helping, and the kids were not nice. Yeah, I'm just saying that nice. The kids were not nice. And I had a rough time that first year. But I persevered. I found something inside of myself, the strength that I needed. And I finished the school, finished the high school on time and passing grades. I didn't know that at the time, that I relied on something inside of myself, the strength, qualities of success, determination, the passion, the strength, all of those qualities that you have to have when you are successful. I had them inside when I was 13 and 14 and 15 years of age. I didn't know that. And then when it came time, and Tracy had tagged me, and I knew I needed to do something, then I'm ready. I somehow pulled on what was inside. You know, I told my sister, I'm sorry, this is how I eat. And I'm not trying to hurt my mother's feelings or anybody's feelings, but this is what I need for me. And the same thing with my friends who teased me because they called me grazing. You're always grazing, like, you know, lettuce and stuff. You're always, you know, it's okay. Because I had the strength inside to hold up under that. So that's what I did. So those two things, got to have passionate for the change. I found that I was passionate for the change, and I was also passionate about running. I found something that I really loved to do and was willing to have a lifestyle to support the running. I used to have a nice long ponytail. Didn't work because I'm at work running. And I wanted to use all the time for running and not curling the hair afterwards to be presentable back at the office, back at the desk. So I cut it off. That was part of my lifestyle. I cut it off, and it's been off since. So now I don't have a problem with using time to do anything. And other things, my whole life, the nutrition came as a result of feeling that the fat food, French fries or whatever, at McDonald's, double-decker cheeseburger, quarter pounder, whatever, was interfering with my running. I was kind of, I don't know, pulled down some kind of way when I ate food that I should not have been eating in the first place. It did not support my running. So I was fortunate that I had passion for running, and that passion helped me to sort of fix my lifestyle to support the running. You know, it was incredible because I started running way back before the running boom started. You know, and my husband and my daughter, they didn't understand what was going on. You know, and I had to kind of help them to understand by continuing day after day after day with my regular routine. So they realized, okay, she's crazy, that's okay. She's going to be out there, so we may as well just leave her alone. And that's what they did. And that's what happened. So it's two things. You do need to do some searching within yourselves to find out whether you're passionate enough to make this change or you're going to be wasting your time. You give it a good go, but you will be wasting your time because you cannot hold on if you don't have a passionate grip. I have a friend a running buddy that I have been running. I've known him for 30 years, and we've been running back and forth, and he's been on Weight Watchers. I think this will be the 5th or 6th time where he would take off lots of weight. then comes back over and he puts all the weight back on it. And you know, when you put weight back on, it brings its friends with it. So you get more weight than when you started. And even today, Artie is still doing the same thing. He does not have the passion and grit not to eat 2 bags of cookies and a half a pint of ice cream every night. He does not have it. So you have to determine whether or not you have what it takes to hold on. This is not easy. It's not. Lifestyle changes of any type. It's not easy. Say it to yourself, but it's not easy. It's just not easy. But you have to ask yourself, is making these changes and somehow uncovering this passion and grit, is that easier than giving up my independence as I age? I don't want to live with my daughter. She's a nice kid. I'm a kid, but I do not want to. So I'm going to do everything in my power to live my life at a level of quality, and at some point in the future, and I know I won't be living forever, I'm going to go out for a run and find a nice tree, sit down, and that's it. You know, right under the tree. No nursing home, no loss of